G'day, I am Simulated Irk, and welcome to a new series on Simulated Irk for emergency services roleplays. This is EmergNYC. Now, a few words about this game before we introduce it. Now, this game is heavily under development. The whole idea eventually is to enable you to play as a member of one of the three emergency services in New York, either police, fire, or medical. That is the aim at the moment. Now, the developers have started with the fire side, and we'll show you the fire side as we go on. Police or medical, nothing happens at the moment, so don't even bother going for that side of things, because basically there's nothing there. You can get this on Steam. It is pre-alpha, so that basically means that it's under development, but they're working on developing things, getting input from the game community and all of that sort of stuff, and putting out updates. Now, as of recording this in mid-May, we are on version 0.7.0, and so I've watched this game on quite a few videos, and I was debating whether or not to get this at this stage or not. But when you consider that there's not a lot of actual firefighting games out there or firefighting content out there on Steam, I haven't managed to get any of the firefighting mods working on LSPDFR using GTA 5. So at this time, even though this game is so buggy, and there's a lot to work on, to me, this is the best firefighting game that I've played via Steam. Now, having said that, of course, there's a couple coming out relatively soon. Los Santos Rescue Division, which is part of, which uses GTA 5, like LSPDFR. Los Santos Rescue Division. That's looking awesome. That's coming out in a couple of weeks for early access. And there's another one called Firefighting Simulation, which actually has backing from a fire engine manufacturer, which is also coming out soonish, I believe. But in the meantime, we have EmergNYC. Now, if you are the type of person who only likes to buy games that are, they're at their maximum potential, you don't have to do anything about it, everything just works first time, this is not the game for you to play, because there's a lot of glitches. But it's also been interesting for me to watch via various videos how this game's been progressing over the last few months. It's been a work in progress for quite some time. There's still quite a lot of work to do, even on the fire side and the environment. Pardon me, before we get on. So with this new version of 0.7.0, you can go to downtown Manhattan. There's a optimized, or a more optimized map. There's a previous version, and there's also the Fire Academy. So I thought I would start at the Fire Academy and introduce the trucks to you. Now, this game at the moment, there is some support for controllers, although it is heavily mouse and keyboard at this stage. So the first thing that I like to do when I get into this game, pardon me, and there's so many warnings to say, this is pre-alpha, we're working on things may not be working as they should be, etc, etc, etc. if you can't read that, or if you can't read on Steam where it initially says, you know, this is a work in progress, blah 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 blah, the developers, the small team of developers, make it certainly clear. So what I do, we're at the Fire Academy now. I go to F5, and what this does, this controls the time. So you can make it night time. You can go into the next day if you want. You can have no time progression, simulated time, or you can work it on your own system time. I prefer just to leave it on at whatever time it is. You can select the seasons, and you can select the weather. And F5 to clear it. Now the first thing you will want to do is to press F2, and you can spawn a unit. So press F2, press new unit. Now don't even waste your time hitting NYPD or EMS, because there's nothing there at the moment. That will crash the game, so don't worry about that. So FDMI, Fire Department New York, select, and then you've got a list of engine companies, truck companies, etc. that you can choose from. So I'm just going to go in order on the list, and we're going to choose engine company 30. Confirm. And then you select it again, left click, and then you have to select your role on the truck. And it's only, and this is the thing that maybe they're working on, who knows, pardon me, that you're the only person there. You must have a driver, but you're the only person there. The driver can do a lot of things. It's not as if, oh, okay, I want to be the driver today, and then I've got 4 people alongside me, 4 AI people alongside me. That's not the way this game works at this stage. So you pick the role of driver, engine company 30, and there he is. Now there's our firefighter. Now you can choose what you want your firefighter to wear. Press F3. You might have to press it a couple of times. There we go. So you can select, the sweater shorts. So he's basically wearing a sweater top and a pair of shorts. F3 again. You can select that he's wearing turnout pants and a sweater and a helmet. If you don't want him to wear the helmet, press H. That takes his helmet off. Or if you press F3 again, you can see him wearing his default uniform. Again in shorts. Oops. That's sometimes an issue too. If you click your mouse in the wrong place, it leaves the screen. You can wear it like a t-shirt with your turnout pants, again H to get rid of the helmet. Or what I prefer to do, just have the guy in his turnout gear. There we go, firefighter McLaughlin. And you can take his helmet off by pressing H, and you can take his BA off by pressing J, and there is a menu that will help you. Okay, so pardon me. Now that we have our guy here, Mr. McLaughlin, firefighter McLaughlin, to get him into the truck, you go up, you press F, and he goes into the truck. Now, a lot of this is mouse and keyboard adjustment at this stage. So there's engine 30. We'll just take a screen cap of that. Now you can just press J and the emergency lights will come on. So you can see the emergency lights. And we're going to go through, we'll press the horn, T. Manual siren. Whale. Whale yelp together. Priority siren. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And we'll turn that off. Now, to get the truck moving, you press I. Now, I stands for ignition. So you press that. Truck roars into life. Now, if you release the parking brake P, I'm not going to, you can then drive the truck using the standard WASD keys. As I said, there is some limited controller support, but I'm not going to get into that at this stage. So we'll turn the engine off, we'll leave the lights on. So we'll just leave the lights on with the engine off. And what we can do, pardon me, what we can do is at this point there's engine 30. We'll get another engine alongside him. F2 again, so go down to new unit. FDMY. That's engine 30. We'll get engine 32 and select, and we'll get a driver to join. So sometimes they come out default in their turnout gear, sometimes they come out in the other uniforms that we've already seen. So no need for him to have his BA on, and no need for his helmet at this stage. So what we'll do, just to make it nice and pretty, is we'll walk him to the truck. F to enter the truck or to leave the truck. I for ignition. J for emergency lights. Park brake off, and we'll just reverse just a tad. So we'll get him lined up alongside the other pump. Not that far. And we'll turn the truck off. And so you can see there that we've got now engine 30 and engine 32. So far so good. And we can do the same. We'll introduce you to another engine, FDMI. We'll introduce you to 49 next. Same thing again. Now the firefighters all have different names on the back of their turnout jackets, so we'll get rid of the BA, we'll get rid of his helmet. And we'll get him to go into the truck. Won't worry about starting up, we'll just turn the lights on. So there's engine 49. So we'll do the same again. We'll introduce another unit, 49. And now 78. 78, we need a driver. F to enter the truck. And we'll just turn the lights on. So there you can see the 4 different engines that you get with this build 0.7.0. Now these engines will do the majority of your firefighting, that sort of stuff here. What I would like to call your general duties firefighting. You're putting out your various different types of fire. So we've got 30 on the left, and then we've got 49 and 78 and 32. So they are your general purpose, your general duty firefighting trucks, your basic firefighting vehicles. But that's not all. Now we can start to get into some more resources, and we can start to get into your ladder companies. So ladder 57. So we'll find a driver for 57. Firefighter Marshall, so we'll take off his BA, we'll take off his helmet. There's a bit of texturing to do with these guys still. Into the truck. Into the truck you go. We'll turn on the lights. Ignition on, park brake off. I just want to go reverse a little bit. Probably went back too much, but we'll go forward a tad. And so the idea, as you can probably imagine, with these trucks is for roof-based or aerial-based firefighting. They don't necessarily have the ability to put the wet stuff on the red stuff, but they are vitally important. So that's a ladder 57. So we're just going in order here. Ladder company 66. And we'll get a driver. We'll take off his helmet. Get in the truck. And we'll just turn your emergency lights on as well. And we'll hit F2 again. And we'll get a new one. Now we'll go the tower ladder next. Now this is even bigger than a ladder. So for your more of a high-rise sort of situation, again, helmet off, BA off. Often these are just called trucks, so truck 68 or 68 truck. And we'll just turn your lights on there, 68. Now, Tiller 75, this is a longer unit again. Now, these trucks are commonly seen in America, but not necessarily in places like Australia. The back of the unit, and some of them can be driven by themselves, and they're a bigger truck. So we'll get in 75. Actually, I didn't mean to hit ignition. Just want the emergency lights. F2 again. $75. Squad 28. Now these guys can do a lot of the firefighting as well. You can see it's basically set up like a regular fire engine, like an engine. Might be a specialty squad, for instance. Not necessarily like the California model where it's medical. So we'll get in the truck, put your lights on there, squad 28. So then we'll get another unit. Squad 28. Rescue Company 9. And as the name suggests, they mainly do a lot of rescues. Who would have thought with that name? A lot of specialty equipment that the other trucks may not carry. You can get in the truck. You can see they've even got an inflatable boat on their roof. And finally, our last unit that we can call up, 5th Battalion, or the Battalion Chief. BA off, helmet off, and this guy drives the Battalion Chief around for control and command purposes. So Mr. Firefighter San Diego, get in there. So now you can see, whoops, hope I didn't. So now you can see the full range of vehicles that we have access to. Now they all, of course, have different purposes. Your engines to the left, and then your aerial appliances and rescue on the right, and the Battalion Chief there. So what we'll do to finish the episode, one very important thing. So we'll get Firefighter San Diego out of there. His job is to basically drive the Battalion Chief around. Now let's say you're at a fire. Okay, this guy's with the Battalion Chief. Actually, just So we'll get the chief out. So we've spawned the chief in, Battalion Chief Morgan. Now, because you have spawned in Battalion Chief Morgan, you have spawned out Firefighter San Diego. So, although having said that, if old mate Battalion Chief gets in the car, okay, he's now in the car, and then if we get San Diego back, oh no, he's disappeared too. I have seen where both of them are in the vehicle at the same time, so we can't have at this stage the Battalion Chief and the firefighter together. So you can only control one truck, one character, one person at a time. Now, another thing that Firefighter San Diego can't do, say for instance, let's say this engine here, engine 30, needs to be moved. Okay. Oh, okay, so he can actually open that. That's interesting. So he is allowed to go to other trucks. Either open and close. Okay, so he can do that. At least I didn't think he'd even be able to do that. But if I wanted him to drive engine 30, let's see if he can just get in as a passenger. No, he can't. No, he can't. No, he can't. So if I wanted him to drive engine 30, you can't get him to drive engine 30 because that's not his assignment. His assignment is to drive the chief. So what I have to do is go to my menu, and just for the sake of convenience, I'll call 75. I then have to go to 75's driver, spawn him back in, and then I have to get him to drive 75. And he will get in 75 because that's his job. His job is the driver of truck 75. I can't. We'll shut him off. We'll get him out. I can't get him to go over to 68 truck and say, oi, I need you to move 68 truck. That won't work. You have to select 68, become their driver, and now we'll take his helmet and his BA off. And now he'll get in his unit because that's his assignment. Now, I don't know how picky firefighters would be in the real world, but I dare say that, even though all the trucks are sort of set out the same, it's usually just your station or your firefighters touching your trucks. I have got some firefighting experience, although I have also been on composite crews, so it just depends on the situation. So we'll shut that truck down. So we'll spawn 75's driver back. I'm going to play with the ladders. Now it's usually your plus or your greater than, or maybe the truck has to be on first. We'll make sure the truck's on just to eliminate any. Okay, so he's out of the truck. Truck's on. Now your first thing that you do with these big ladder trucks is put the stabilizers out. Although for some reason that's not letting me do that. Well, the stabilizers don't appear to be coming out of that one. F to climb. Oh, now we can put our outriggers up. Okay, that stabilizes the vehicle. Okay, so we've got this ladder. And you can see the various shortcut keys in front of you. And C for climb, and then you just walk up. So as you can see, he's quite a distance up. So he could be up there for, for a rescue, gaining access to the roof, for instance, and then in reverse just climb down using W for up or S for down. So we'll bring the ladder back in, Q to retract. And then of course we have to put the ladder, oops, and W for down. F to climb down, or you can go on this one, you can go down the back. Possibly the other side. Okay, so the guy, so he's in there already. Actually, I haven't tried to work this yet. Okay, I actually haven't used that one yet, and that doesn't seem to be working, so what we'll go in 68. That's the same sort of concept. So here come the outriggers. And you do the same here, so we'll go up. There is a nozzle, but obviously you need water to the truck before you can activate it. And as you can see, we're a fair way up. Of course, you can go to the so that's as high as we can go. X to hide the interface. So you can see how high he's up. Whoops. Now, I don't know yet how to turn the water on there. I need the interface back. I think we're supposed to be that low. Alright, so we'll leave the bucket there. So as you can see, you can get quite a deal of elevation. And the same would apply to 66. Dude, at least look at me while I'm trying to screen cap you. There we go. And I forgot for the whole time to have this on full screen. So that is basically an introduction to the different trucks. Now, I haven't used all of them yet, and I'm still learning this game, but I hope you enjoyed that. So that's Rescue 9, Truck 66, 68, 75, and then we'll go over here, Squad 28, Engine 32, Engine 78, Engine 49, and 30. So until next time, I'm Simulator. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.